Hi, I am the Midnight Raven, and today we are ranking chick flicks. So, if you're new to my channel, I'm the Midnight Raven. I've started doing a series called Tier Lists. So far, I've done horror movies, I've done films by Tim Burton, and today we are ranking chick flicks. So, being a woman myself, obviously, chick flicks should appeal to me. The question is, do they or don't they? So, we have made a tier list with 4 different categories, and we're going to rank 13 chick flick movies on the movie, what I think of them, have I watched them, and mainly just have little chats and debates. So here we have the tier list system that we are using. So we are using whether they are must-watch movies, good movies, whether they are average movies, or whether they are bad movies. So these are my own personal opinions. Obviously, if you want to share your opinions, comment down below any chick flicks I've missed, any further tier lists you'd like to see, or whether you've seen any of these movies and you have your own opinions would be gratefully appreciated. So chick flick movies are meant to appeal more to women, hence the term chick flick. So let's see what chick flicks we have. So first of all, the first film we're looking at in this little circle here is, of course, Bridget Jones's Diary. So it came out in 2001, so it's an oldie. Bridget is a single woman writing a diary focused on how she wants to change her life. She basically wants a man, wants a future. However, after 2 romantic disasters, her prospects change when she finds these 2 men. 2 entirely different men. One seems warm and friendly. The other one seems a bit more kind of recluse, kind of offset. And basically, they both try and grab her attention. And who she ends up with, I won't spoil it for you. I will let you watch the movie. But it does feature Colin Firth, obviously Renee Zellweger, and Hugh Grant. Brilliant movie, actors, and I believe the movie should go on the good. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a brilliant movie. I think it's watchable. I think if you like Hugh Grant, obviously a British actor, you're probably on the right track. Okay, next movie we are looking at is Clueless. So if you were a 90s girl, this would be right up your alley. Cher is a high school student who's learning to cope with being an adolescent. We've all been there. She also helps a new student gain popularity and in the process discovers feelings for someone else. We've all been a 90s girl like me at some point. So not a bad cast. You've got Alicia Silverstone, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy. Came out in 1995. So obviously, like I said, the youths of today can possibly resonate with some of the terms and fashion from Clueless. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie for me. It was just kind of in the middle. So we're going to put it in the average. People are going to differ with me on that. I'm sure I'm going to hear loads of comments begging to differ. Next, we have one that a lot of people may not have seen, Coyote Ugly. Another what they call chick flick. It's a romantic musical. So this has a lot of music in it. Came from the 2000s. An aspiring writer decides to move to New York, ends up working in a bar with girls to make ends meet. They then discover she can sing, and to save the bar, they get her to sing, and she falls in love with the producer, who then pursues her music, releases it, and Leanne Rimes ends up singing the music. It's a very chick flick movie, very chick flick, very tongue in cheek, kind of girly for my liking. So it's just an average movie. Next in the firing line is very controversial, and that is the 50 Shades of Grey movie. Gotta have some good with some bad. So 50 Shades is an American film trilogy that consists of 3 movies. We are just basing this on the first movie. So Dakota Johnson, you've got Jamie Dorman, Rita Ora, Luke Grimes. Basically, she gets the privilege of, she's a reporter. She gets the privilege of interviewing this businessman, Christian Grey, who then falls for her and wants to have her become his submissive. He's a dom, and it's the whole relationship between the sub and the dom. There's some like bondage in there. There's also the red room. I won't talk about it too much on YouTube because obviously the 50 Shades of Grey is a erotic movie, if you want to call it that. Got a lot of backlash. E.L. James, obviously the author, thought she had a winner. Not so much. So it's just an average movie. Sorry, I've seen all three. You got 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades 3. There's also the book doing it from the man's perspective. I've read all three. I've seen all the movies. Nah, it's a hit and miss thing. If you want to watch, you know, a hot man with his top off, then maybe that's the film for you. Okay, a classic now. We are going for Grease. Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta, singing, dancing. Basically, the story goes they were a high school romance, before they were the high school romance, they were the summer of love. They fell in love over the spring or the holiday break. They come back together by accident. He thinks she's moved to Australia. They end up in the same school. She ends up with the Pink Ladies. He's a T-bird. They sing, they dance, they fall back in love, and they leave at the end. But the songs are catchy. The characters are funny. It's just a chick flick. And if you love a musical, I would say it's a must-watch. John Travolta does really well. Olivia Newton-John. There's laughter. There's fun. There are serious bits in it as well, mind you. But I think the movie does it justice by playing on like both sides of a coin. Next, Legally Blonde. So, I've only seen the first Legally Blonde, although I believe there are more than one. So Ellie's boyfriend breaks up with her for a smarter girl as he plans to become a politician. She then decides to enroll in the same school in an effort to teach him a lesson. She then wants to become a lawyer. She follows him into lawyer school to show that she is just as brainy as his new girlfriend. It's a wicked kind of teen comedy kind of movie. Stars Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Coolidge, Luke Wilson. It came out in 2000, so just missing being a 90s girl or a 90s movie. For me, not a big fan. I've only seen the first one, so I think we're just going to have to put it in average. For me, it's not really a movie I've been drawn to or say want to watch repeatedly. I haven't watched the other movies, although she does have an adorable chihuahua in it. Next, Love Actually, big time Christmas movie. Big time Christmas movie. So Love Actually came out in 2003. It's a Christmas romantic themed comedy film. It features an ensemble cast. So many great actors in there. You have Hugh Grant, Keira Knightley, Emma Thompson, Liam Neeson. It basically follows different relationships around Christmas. Some are married, some have children, and it just shows different relationships and how they are over the Christmas period, with laughs and jokes and some sad bits. I've never seen the entire film. I've seen clips, I've seen excerpts, but I've never seen the entire film. So for me, I'm not sure. You got Martine McCutcheon in it, and for me, I'm just gonna put it in bad. From what I've seen of it, it is like immensely cheesy, like over the top dramatics and flair, and just whoa, bit too much for me. So, moving on to something a bit more kind of dark and mysterious, but musical themed, we have Moulin Rouge. Again, 2001. We've got some 2000 movies for the chick flicks. So Christian, an English writer, travels to Paris to join the Bohemian Revolution. He visits the fine city, and in this city he finds the Moulin Rouge. He falls in love with the performing star, and it is just a gorgeous musical. The lights, the aesthetics. You've obviously got Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor in it. It's a lovely little love story. The songs are catching. It really is a glamorous nightclub. You've got all the flair and all the kind of pizzazz, but it's kind of more my style. It's more dark and aesthetically pleasing for me. And I have seen Moulin Rouge once, and I actually think we'll put it in the good movie. I think it's good. I think the amount of work that's put into it, the music, the choreography, the aesthetics when they sing and everything, I think it just makes the movie. So what are we looking at now? A British movie, Notting Hill. Came out in the 90s, so we're staying in the 90s. So William is a British bookseller. He meets and falls in love with Anna. She happens to be a high-profile American actress. However, their relationship goes through many problems and different social statuses. He's just a nobody, a little bookseller. She's a famous high-profile actress. It also features Hugh Grant, Arisa Evans, Julia Roberts. It's a lovely little romance, kind of tongue-in-cheek. There's some quirky bits, there's some funny bits. I have seen it like a couple of times. It's one of those feel-good movies that you could stick on at the weekend and watch, and it's a perfect date movie. So we're going to put Notting Hill in a good movie. So we've got a kind of a mixture at the minute. That can always change. So we have 4 more movies left. So let's continue. Next, we have one of my also favorite films, The Devil Wears Prada. So if you're fashion orientated or you like strong, powerful women, this is definitely a movie for you. Came out in 2006, and basically Andy, a young graduate who really doesn't have good fashion sense, aspires to be a journalist, comes to New York to become assistant on one of the biggest editors. And she is so ruthless and cutthroat, and she picks on every little detail, but it's all to better the girl. But in the end, you know, she decides that this kind of life isn't for her. So it's a Midwestern girl coming to New York, trying to find herself on where she belongs. This is Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci, who is awesome. A great cast, a great story. Came out in 2006, so 2000s again. For me, Devil Wears Prada, it's an okay film, and I love it. So I think Devil Wears Prada is a must-watch. Next, we have one that I know little to nothing about, but it is a chick flick, mind you, and it's one of the high chick flicks that people are drawn to. That's The Wedding Planner, featuring Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Lopez. This is a 2001 movie. While celebrating their new and most lucrative account, the wedding of interest tycoon, is rescued from a near fatal crash with a runaway dumpster by a handsome pediatrician, of course. And after spending time together, they end up getting together. Many think they'll find a reason to believe in love. It's kind of a mushy, push together kind of film. Like I said, Jennifer Lopez is in it. I don't know much about the film. Matthew McConaughey, Justin Chambers, Bridget Wilson. I don't think I've ever watched Jennifer Lopez in a movie. I don't know if her acting's any good or whether it's a bit stunted. I'm not a big fan of Matthew McConaughey. So for me, The Wedding Planner is a bad movie. It just doesn't have anything that appeals to me, and I don't know enough about the movie per se to say never watch it, but for me, it's like a... Okay, another classic, 1987's Dirty Dancing. Patrick Swayze Jennifer Grey, Cynthia Rhodes, while on holiday and her parents are at this resort. She becomes smitten with a rebellious dancing instructor. Her father opposes their relationship, which seems to create a rift between her and her dad, but seems to draw her more closer to Patrick Swayze. They end up teaching her to dance. And then there's the whole time of your life dance scene at the end where she jumps into his arms. There's the scene in the water where she tries to learn to do the lift. There is a sideline story in it about an abortion, which kind of maybe not a date movie, more like a couple movie. But it is a good movie, though. You know, for me, we'll put it in good. It's not a must-watch in my case. I think there are much better movies out there, but these are chick flick movies, and for me, I'm not a big chick flick fan. I'm more of a horror fan, but I digress. And the last movie, we couldn't do chick flick movies without doing Titanic from 1997. Kate Winslet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Billy Zane, and Kathy Bates. 17-year-old Rose hails from an aristocratic family and is set to marry. She boards the Titanic and stumbles upon Jack Dawson, who changes her life. He's an artist. They fall in love. She tries to leave her future husband. The boat unfortunately crashes into an iceberg, and she chooses Jack, the lower class peasant, if you want to call it, compared to her aristocratic, money-loaded future husband. The Titanic sinks, obviously, and if you've seen Titanic, you will know it doesn't bode well for our two stars. It's a really lovely movie. It's about 3 hours long, so it is a long, inducive movie, so maybe not for date night, but it is a movie that you must at least watch once. So there is my tier list. Let me just put it on screen so you can see it a bit better. So in the movies, let me just put it down slightly. In the movie list, we do have Grease and Devil Wears Prada and Titanic as a must-watch. We have Bridget Jones's Diary, Moulin Rouge, Notting Hill, and Dirty Dancing as a good movie. We have Clueless, Coyote Ugly, 50 Shades of Grey, and Legally Blonde as an average, and then as a bad movie. Not in any way like saying not to watch it, but my personal preference is Love Actually and The Wedding Planner. So that is my tier list. Question is, how does your tier list differ from mine? If you want to share in the comments down below what you feel chick flick movies you like, or if you believe my list is wrong, you can comment in the chat and let me know what you thought your favourite chick flick movie is. Or if I don't have your favourite chick flick movie on here, do comment down below. Also share with me any other lists you'd like to see. If you haven't seen my previous two lists, I did a horror list and I did a Tim Burton movie list, which should both come out by now. If you want to see more from me, you can give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to like, subscribe, I would welcome you to my Raven Crow. So I will see you very soon for another video. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye.